Hi everybody, Dan here of TrendSpider, and in this video I'm going to show you some of the really cool new upgrades that we've made to the backtesting tool, the strategy tester, that are going to be released in the next few days. So think of this as a little preview of some really cool stuff that will be available in TrendSpider this week. Now, for those of you who don't know, the strategy tester is a built-in backtesting engine inside of the TrendSpider charting platform. It allows you to test complex buy and sell rules against any chart using 27 years of market historical data that we have access to. Some of the upgrades to this platform are obvious and some of them are a little bit more subtle. So I'm going to walk through them all and let me know what you think. The first thing you're going to notice is the strategy tester now supports short positions, or short strategies. And this is controlled using this drop-down menu right next to the test button. This lets you tell the system that you're testing a long strategy where you buy when your entry conditions are true, or a short strategy where you sell when those conditions are true. So that's one thing that you can easily now control that was not available before. It's very simple and pretty self-explanatory. The next thing that I want to highlight that is a big change, that is a little bit more subtle, is the change to the trade buy drop-down menu here. Now, if you recall, this normally, or before this update, would say trade buy, and you would select the time or the candle condition that you want to trade by from the list, and the default was the close. Now, the problem with this is, unless you're a robot, there's no way you're going to be able to get your order in at the same time that the candle that triggers your condition closes in real life. And that was causing test results to look a little bit different than they would if you were actually trading them. In order to make it more realistic, we've changed this to now say trade by next, and the default setting is now open. This tells the system that when your conditions are true, to buy immediately on the open of the next candle. And that is more realistic for a simulation of real-life trading than trading on the close in a backtest. Now, to account for slippage or brokerage commissions or whatever, you can always select to trade by an average price. That'll give you a slightly different entry. But remember, this will always trade by the candle after the one that triggers your conditions fires. The next thing to highlight is there is now a capability for you to have more than one entry condition. And you can do that by adding as many technical scripts as you'd like to your entry. And these can be all different kinds of things. You can select, for example, in the first one that you want to buy when there's a hammer candlestick that forms. For the second one, you can say that you want to buy when the MACD fast crosses up through the MACD slow. And for the third condition, let's say that you want to buy when the price high is greater than the price high of the previous candle. And let's say this continues for 2 candles in a row. So you can say the price high is greater than the price high for 2 candles in a row, right? So you can then name these. So the first one you can say hammer. The second one you can say MACD fast cross up. And for the last one you can say price highs increasing, right? You can give them names. These are important because they'll be visible on your chart later. So you want to give yourself a simple name that will tell you what condition triggered that. And you can see I now have a more sophisticated strategy than I was able to have before in TrendSpider because I now have 3 separate independent technical entry conditions, right? Now on the exit, the same thing is true. You can have technical conditions, right? And you can have as many of them as you want and you can name them as well. So let's add one here and let's say we will also sell when we see a bearish engulfing candle. We can also add a time condition. This will allow you to exit after a certain number of candles have passed, even if your technical condition hasn't hit. We can add a stop loss condition that will go from your entry. Let's say we get out and count our losses if we lose 5% from our entry. You can add a take profit that will take profit in the same way as a stop loss, right? So you can say take profit anytime we're up 10%, get out, let's take our money and run. And finally, a new condition called a trailing stop that will work from each high to allow you to trail as price increases, right? And you can then name any technical conditions you have. We'll name this one bearish engulfing. And here we can then run our test, and we can see how this strategy will play out on this chart. Now, first thing I'm going to do is click C on chart here, and that will plot my entries and exits on each chart so I can see what happened. And you can see that this will highlight why we entered, right? We entered long here because of a MACD fast cross up. We got out here because of a bearish engulfing, right, the previous candle. We entered here long again because we had highs increasing and so forth, right? And the same thing on the exits. You can see that, we exit after time. We exit for various reasons. This is really cool because you can now encode your strategies into various reasons that you may enter and exit trades into TrendSpider and have something a little bit more sophisticated that represents how you may trade in reality a little bit better. We've also enhanced some of the reporting in the platform around your backtesting strategy. For example, the first thing I'm going to show you is the updated performance chart. When I maximize this, you can see that there's now a number of things going on here. And let me simplify it a little bit just to give you a cleaner picture of what's going on here. The first thing I'm going to show you is this asset price line with your positions highlighted on it. Now you can see that the price of the asset itself is plotted in black, right? It's a black line chart that highlights the open price or whatever price you're trading by. The positions then overlay onto that colors that indicate whether the position you're in was a profitable one, it will be green, or a losing one, it'll be red. And if you weren't in the trade at all, it'll be gray. And this lets you see how good your strategy actually is. Did you catch the big moves up? Did you stay out of the big moves down? It's a quick and beautiful and visual way to see that so that you can go back and refine your strategy and improve it, to make this chart look even better for you. Now, when the strategy overlay is on here, you can see how your buy and sell strategy performed versus holding the asset. The asset is the solid line that changes colors, right? And the blue is the cumulative result of your buy and hold strategy. And you can see that this actually worked out very well during this market route. This particular strategy would have, right? Because while buy and hold would be negative, you actually held on to a lot of your gains, right? About 4% today. That's a really cool thing you can see in the platform that is very simple to compare and know if your strategy, your buy and hold versus your buy and sell strategies and how they perform relative to one another. Next thing that we've also added that's new here, in addition to this color-coded chart, is this drawdown chart. And this will show you the maximum drawdown from peak to trough, right? Calculated using the dollar amounts, not the percentages of the scale, to show you how volatile and how much of your gains you end up giving back along the way in the strategy. And you can see how that looks here, and you can, of course, zoom out and see that in more detail. So in addition, there have been a lot of under-the-hood changes to the strategy tester. This is a fairly high-level overview of what's changed in it, but it's a good place for you to start. Remember that TrendSpider is always improving, and this is by no means the last update to the strategy tester. We're going to continue to improve and continue to add features. So if you have an idea or a thought or wish you could do something that you can't right now, let us know, and we'll do our best. Please play around with it and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye.